Hi guys, my name is Trudy and I'll be doing an excerpt from Billy Budd, pages 57 to 58. And it states, though at the time Captain Veer was quite ignorant of Billy's liability to vocal impediment, he now immediately divined it, since vividly Billy's aspects recall to him that of a bright young schoolmate of his, whom he had once seen struck by much of the same startling impotence in the act of eagerly rising in the class to be foremost in response to a testing question put to it by the master. Going close up to the young sailor and laying a soothing hand on his shoulder, he said, "There is no hurry, my boy. Take your time, take your time." Contrary to the effect intended, these words, so fatherly in tone, doubtless touching Billy's heart to the quick, prompted yet more violent efforts at utterance, efforts soon ending for the time in confirming the paralysis and bringing to his face an expression which was as a crucifixion to behold. The next instant, quick as the flame from a discharged cannon at night, his right arm shot out, and Claggett dropped to the deck. Whether intentionally or but owing to the young athlete's superior height, the blow had taken effect fully upon the forehead, so shapely and intellectual looking a feature in the master at arms, so that the body fell over lengthwise like a heavy plank tilted from erectness. A gasp or two, and he lay motionless. "Fated boy," breathed Captain Vere, in a tone so low as to be almost a whisper, "what have you done? But here, help me." The twain raised the felled one from the loins up in a sitting position, the spare form flexibility asquith but inertly. It was like handling a dead snake. They lowered it back. Regaining erectness, Captain Vere, with one hand covered his face, stood to all appearance as impassive as the object at his feet. Was he absorbed in taking in all the bearing of the event, and what was best, not only now at once to be done, but also in the sequel? Slowly he uncovered his face, and the effect was as if the moon emerging from eclipse should reappear with quite another aspect. That then that that which had gone into hiding. The father in him, manifested towards Billy thus far into the scene, was replaced by the military discipline. I believe that this passage is very significant because not only do we see Billy Budd's innocence, where he is so shocked that he was unable to speak or even defend himself due to these accusations, basically dumbstruck that such an accusation could be made against him. Also, the fact that Claggett tried to bring Billy down and instead ended up dead seems very similar to the biblical reference of when Judas betrayed Jesus and then was disgraced by killing himself, as as if karma got him for being an evil entity trying to bring down the good. Although we don't really know why Claggett hates Billy Budd, similar to Judas, he just holds this animosity towards Billy. This could have been due to Claggett's unknown past, hidden affections, or just because Billy was the polar opposite. However, the biggest character change in the story was that of Captain Vere, where he changed from Billy's fatherly figure to a military disciplinary who basically refused to take the crime, refused to um, oversee the crime of mutiny, much less the death of Claggart. This not only shows how serious Captain Vere took his job, but also that mutiny was something no one could get away with, to a point where Vere was so set on prosecuting Billy that the only person who could explain why Claggart hated Billy so much was to ask the dead man himself. But he's dead, so can't really ask him anything. This point really shows the turn of Captain Vere's character for the rest of the story, especially when his tone went from a soft fatherly tone trying to get a child to tell them the truth, trying to get the father to tell the father the truth, and basically that he was like a man of the law. And basically he was like a man of the law, so he was really trying to he was really going he was really set on doing his duty rather than being Billy's fatherly figure. um I say this because during the trial he seemed determined to ensure that the law was enforced, and he even though he resented it in the end, he still continued to carry out his duty. This also reflects how Captain Vere connected more with his sense of duty, where in the earlier chapters he seems uncertain and to be uncertain and distant from his peers. So it was very unlikely for him to choose his fatherly relationship with Billy, so called fatherly relationship with Billy, over that of his duty, because it seems more like, especially when it's like he was like a seaman and he preferred being on the ocean and whatnot. It just seems like he took his role as a captain more as a as a better connection than how he did connect with people. And this is how he just basically kind of like a flip floppy character. He was able to, um, have this relationship with Billy, but then again, turn it around and be the hard tone captain that he needed to be. Um, so that's basically it. And thank you guys for listening. And hopefully, I wasn't too bad at this. Thank you. Have a good night.